We will be diverting nearly 50% of the waste from Abu Dhabi to be treated in this plant. It will be generating in the very first line electricity for about 52,000 households, which is amazing. Creating synergies, it's about creating awareness in the society. And if I may say so, Sarah, this is a part that you are doing. So you're creating the awareness, you're creating the conscience about what the issue is.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sustainability Heroes, a podcast brought to you by Tadweer Group, where we speak to guests from across the sustainability sector. I am joined by Stefan Kipp, who is CEO of the Abu Dhabi Waste Energy Plant. Hi, Stefan.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for joining me today.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to it.
I know, me too. So, Stefan, I understand that as CEO of the Waste Energy Plant, there's a lot that you have to talk to me about today. Please tell me what this plant is all about and how this is coming to life.
Yeah. Okay, so this plant is, as a matter of fact, one of the new developments in Abu Dhabi towards sustainability. And obviously, the Abu Dhabi Waste-to-Energy plant is a key project for Tadweer. We started this project about a little bit more than 1 year ago to the construction. Before that, there was almost a 10 years preparation phase for this plant.
Wow.
So the plant has been developed, improved, designed, supported. The legal framework had to be developed until it was finally awarded last year. And we started our construction in August of the last year. So at these days, if you go back to Al Dhafra, to the Al Bihouth area, you will find back very easily a new key milestone in the middle of the landscape, which is our plant. So the plant itself is a key element to solve Abu Dhabi's problems or challenges, we need to say, with waste. We will be diverting nearly 50% of the waste from Abu Dhabi to be treated in this plant. So what happens to this waste in this plant? It will be generating in the very first line electricity for about 52,000 households, which is amazing. This is a renewable energy that is not only diverting waste from landfills, which are, as some of you may know, one of the main origins for greenhouse gas emissions in the world. So worldwide, about 4% of the greenhouse gases are originated in landfills. So we are taking that away from landfill, treated thermal, which means we are burning it with the heat that we are generating out of this incineration. We will be generating electricity, and we burn it at such high temperatures that the product that come out of it are neutral to the environment. We will have some bottom ashes, which we can use as construction aggregates, and a lot of clean air that is coming out of that plant.
Very cool. So this sounds legendary. It's a revolutionary way to treat waste, especially in Abu Dhabi. So how does the process work exactly? How do you get the waste, and how will that be converted into energy at the plant itself?
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing is that for the population, nothing changes. The population will continue doing exactly the same that they have been doing so far. They will collect their waste, it will be disposed of, it will be collected by Tadweer. And Tadweer, instead of bringing it to the landfill, will bring it to our plant. So it arrives in our plant, the waste will be thrown from the trucks in a so-called bunker. The bunker itself is a very, very big pool, if you like. Not filled with water, but with waste, so don't jump inside. And this has then the capacity of 7 days of waste production of the city of Abu Dhabi. So it's quite impressive. The waste inside of it will be mixed up, because waste obviously coming from different origins. We will have waste coming from markets, from commerce, from private households. And as you can imagine, each waste is different. So for us, for the plant to operate stable, we need to mix up everything. And once everything is well mixed up, we will have huge grabs in this bunker that will feed the waste into our furnace. What is our furnace? Our furnace is a huge barbecue. So, and when I talk huge, it is the biggest in the world of this kind. So we do have, you can imagine, a barbecue with a surface of about 220 square meters. We are talking of about 18 meters wide and 12 meters long.
That's massive.
Massive, and it's the first of its kind in the world. So that it is.
Incredible.
That's also why we call this plant as the most modern plant of the world. So it's not a plant that can fly. It's not a plant that can run by itself with AI, but it has a lot of those elements included in the plant. So the plant itself is a prime technology being built from different suppliers all over the world. So that's the beauty also of the plant. We do have suppliers from Japan, from Switzerland, locals, a lot of local suppliers participating in the project, from China, from India. So it is a real multinational plant being built under the leadership of the Emirates, under the leadership of Tadweer. And that's a fascinating product. So what does the plant then do? Once we have burnt the waste, we are cooking water. So around this huge barbecue that we have built, there is so-called membrane walls and tubes, which will be filled with water. The water will evaporate, will become steam. The steam will be further heated, and then it will go through a steam turbine, which by turning, releasing the steam, and turning the turbine will generate electricity.
Wow.
And then in the next step, we will have the residues of the incineration, the flue gases as we call it. These will be treated in a very modern flue gas treatment system, and then dissipated in the atmosphere. But before we dissipate it in the atmosphere, there is a continuous emission monitoring system, which will make sure through an online measurement that the air that we are blowing back into the atmosphere is always in perfect conditions.
That's crazy.
That's the simple plan.
It's so cool. Wow. So you said this will be operational in mid 2027, is that it?
Exactly. So we are planning to start our commercial operation in June 27. Now, the adjustment of the plant will take a little bit of time. So we will start taking away waste from landfills as of December 26. So about half an hour before we fully go online, we start to calibrate everything, we start to adjust everything. And then about 2 months before going into operations, the plant will be operating stably. And then we will start doing the tests. And then that's the part where we will challenge the suppliers of the plant, which is a consortium led by Tadweer and supported by a group of Japanese and Swiss partners. And these partners will then need to make sure that the plant operates under the most adverse conditions. So we will be running the plant up and down and right and left sides, bringing it to its limits, so that when we start the operation on the 30th of June 27, we are sure this plant is perfectly fit for this environment and for its purpose for the next 30 years. So the plant will be operating for at least 30 years.
Wow.
That's as far as the contract goes at this moment. Typically, around the world, such plants operate for at least 50 years. So it is a long-lasting solution for Abu Dhabi.
Well, this is the coolest science lesson I've ever had. I gotta say that. You've made me really enjoy the science behind waste. There's so much incredible partnership and innovation that's going into this. And this brings me to my next question for you, Stefan. Why are waste energy plants important for the world?
Well, waste to energy plants, in the ideal case, will not be important at all. But we're not in an ideal world. So we are still generating waste.
Right.
And the big challenge of generating waste is until we have a fully established, sustainable, circular economy in place, we will still be generating this waste. The circular economy, until it is perfected, will take probably the next 1 or 2 generations. So we're talking about 50, 60 years until it is fully implemented. Mm-hmm. It will come. It will definitely come. But the big question is, what do we do until then?
Right.
So we need to give purpose to this waste. We need to extract the valuable elements that we have in this waste. And we're talking of not only the energy, but we're also talking about recyclables, metals, plastics, paper, partly the organic fraction that might be used as well. Now, this complete use of the different fractions, as we call it, the different parts of the waste, takes time to be implemented in a society. And in this transition phase, which will take more or less this generation, 2 generations that I mentioned, we cannot continue doing what we're doing now. So a responsible and modern society will take the approach of making a thermal treatment of the waste. Why? Because this thermal treatment allows us on one side to recover the energy that is in the waste, will allow us to recover a part of the recyclables in the waste, and most important of all, will prevent us from producing greenhouse gases and possibly creating environmental burdens for the next generations.
Yeah, so. That's good. It's good that you're not waiting, right? You're not waiting the 50, 60 years. You're making sure that we're still doing our part, harnessing technology, harnessing the right investments, the right partnerships as well, the right expertise to make sure that we are doing something now and not waiting for, for next year or the year after, to make sure that we're doing our part for the clean environment. Obviously, as you said, in an ideal world, if people kind of, recycled more, segregated at the source more, we wouldn't be in this situation. But it is important to be realistic about the expectations and the behavioral shifts that are required from the community.
Yes, and that's exactly one of the fundamental elements that we are. And when I was invited to join the project about 1.5 years ago, why I was so excited about it, because the advantage of working in this field, the advantage of Tadweer doing what they're doing, is how many people around the world can say they're earning their living with doing good for the environment and for the society.
Exactly.
And this is something that I personally love in this business, because we are working together with the society, we are working together with politics, we are working together with the industry, and we are working most of all together with people. It is about creating synergies. It's about creating awareness in the society. And if I may say so, Sara, this is a part that you are doing. So you're creating the awareness, you're creating the conscience about what the issue is. What I'm doing, I'm working more in the background. And that's the part that I like also. I don't need to be exposed in public.
Right.
I like to make things happen in the background.
Yeah, no, it definitely is like a two-way partnership, right? So obviously we have our community engagement team at Tadweer Group that helps with the awareness and engaging the community and adopting or helping the community adopt behavioral change. And then in the back end as well, we have incredible partners such as yourself to help make sure that the waste that is coming out there, the waste that we are producing and that we are putting into the trash, does have that value that we're unlocking. And we are also, as you mentioned, addressing, energy security issues. We're addressing environmental issues, and we're being careful as we do it, right? We're making sure that we are reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, the methane as well, even the residue that comes from incinerating the waste, taking care of everything from A to Z. But I'm curious, what do you want the listeners to know about the waste energy plant? If there's one thing you really want them to understand.
I think the one thing that I need the viewers, the listeners to understand is that this is a solution that is being designed for them. So it is not something that is detached from the society. It is an integral part of the society. And that we, at the end of the day, we need the support for everybody. So we are with Tadweer, the Abu Dhabi waste to energy treatment plant, is a plant that is working for the society. We, as a plant, we will have 30, 40, 50 years of operation, and we need the support of the people. So in order to work adequately, we need people getting conscient and aware of what they are doing with the waste. And that means that basically they need to be educated. And that's one of the expectations that I have. The target for me is always make waste disappear. Now, what I'm doing here is a little part, I'm burning it and transforming it into something. It's not disappearing yet, but in the future, we hopefully will be in a situation where we will get closer to this concept of a zero waste society, where the only thing that we are generating is byproducts that can be recycled, reused, and valued.
I love that. My final question for you today, Stefan. What is your favorite thing about what you do?
I think I already mentioned it. It is the fact that I'm being paid to do good.
It's always good to be paid to do what you love, right?
But I think this obviously takes advantage. When I was younger, I had at a certain point in time in my life the option to do things, and I was grown in South America, living on the beach and having a lot of fun in life.
Very nice.
So my options were either I become a marine biologist or an engineer. And eventually I said, well, as a marine biologist, the possibility that I have to do a wider good is quite limited. As an engineer, I might be able to do it. So I moved to Germany. I started studying in Germany. I made my engineering degree and eventually always following the path of waste. And this is, to be very honest, one of the things that I love doing in my life. It is to treat waste. Waste is a reflection of a society. If you go to a landfill, if you look into the waste of a society, you know exactly, is this a wealthy society? Is it a poor society? Is it a society that is developed where only a little amount of pollutants are still in the waste? Is there still a lot of pollutants? Is it a society that is autonomous, which produces everything itself? Or is it a society that depends a lot on external factors and inputs? So it is to a certain extent a picture of the society. So every day when I go to look into the waste, to look into a waste bunker, to look into a waste truck, I look at it and I can say, well, what does it tell me about the society where it is coming from?
Wow.
So it is mixing up engineering with some anthropology and some level of philosophy, if I may say.
Very poetic, very, very poetic. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Stefan, for joining me on the podcast today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
My pleasure overall.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you next time.